Welcome to the Sports with Aliyah talk show. I am so excited to be back for another season, one last season before I move to New York. So I'm just very grateful to be here, and no better way to kick it off than with someone that just has the best, most outgoing personality. So Sam, thanks for being here.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, so do you just want to let people know who you are, just a little background before we dive into it?
Oh, hi guys, my name's Sam White. I'm a junior at Mays South High School. I'm very active. I was a swimmer my first year this year. And then I have a very big TikTok base.
Very, very big, and we will get to that, but I do just want to kind of talk about your background first and kind of like what makes you you, because I feel like there's a reason that people follow you, and even just meeting you a few times since I'm a substitute teacher, I've was able to tell that immediately. So we will get to TikTok, but first, just what's your background? Like, do you have a theater background or like forensics, or what do you do?
Okay, so I moved here from Halstead High School. I lived there for 9 years. There I did a lot of the theater and I did a lot of forensics. I'm a state champion freshman year for forensics. Sophomore year it got canceled, but I was on my way to another state champion. So yeah, that's always been a good experience there. And then once I moved to Mays South, I started all that. The play got canceled because we had another COVID outbreak or whatever. But and then I did forensics a little bit there, and yeah, everything's going pretty good there.
So what's been your favorite role to do? And then also for forensics, can I guess, did you do humorous interpretation?
Yes, I did. Humorous interpretation and prose. I actually won state in the prose category.
Wow.
I did a piece about the Texas chili cook-off. So I did all these different voices, and yeah, so.
So then what was like your favorite role or production you've been in for theater?
We did the Sound of Music, I believe, at Halstead. I was one of the lead roles. I wasn't the lead role, but I was one of the humorous roles there. But I think that was my favorite role. I can't quite remember. Oh, I was a director. I was actually a director in that play. I was Roscoe Dexter. Yeah, that was a really good role. It really showed who I was in the play. Everybody loved me.
So when you were growing up, have you always been outgoing, or did theater and other things kind of bring that out of you?
I think growing up, my parents, my dad and my mom, they've always taught me to be just a happy person. You know, that's how I grew up. I was always around happy people. We're the core 4-5. That's our family. That's us. So my dad, he would always do this Shrek impression that I always thought was really good. But I looked at him one day and I was like, I bet I could do that better. So that's where my kind of impressions came along. I can do a lot of impressions that he can't, and he's just amazed by it.
Can we hear the Shrek one?
Well.
Or do you have to get into character?
I gotta get into character, but I mean, it's not that good as his. But like, I'm saying that's where it started.
Oh, okay. What's your favorite one?
I can do Stitch and Kermit pretty well. So I'll do Stitch for you guys. Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. And then there's Kermit the Frog. Why are there so many songs about rainbows?
Oh my gosh. Okay, that was amazing. I used to be able to do, I'm not doing it, but I used to think I could do Stitch, but I really can't compared to you. But do you just one day wake up and you hear something and you're like, wow, I think I can do that with my voice? How did that come about?
So it kind of, I always knew I could do it. Like the moment that my dad did the Shrek impression, I was just like, wow, that's amazing. So, I mean, I got into the TikTok platform and I was like, I've got to figure out some way for these people to like me, for these people to start following me. So I started doing impressions, and I did the Grinch impression during Christmas time. And so you know how TikTok works, you got Christmas videos going around. Yeah. So I did the Grinch impression, and it absolutely blew up.
We have the accent challenge, Grinch edition, coming in at number 1.
Oh, that's what I'm not good.
Number 2.
It's not a dress, it's a kilt, sicko.
Number 3.
The Grinch.
Number 4.
Is my Sub-Zero Chilibread running? Well, then you better go catch it. Oh, that's a good one.
Number 5.
Another man's sludge is another man's poopery. I don't know, it's some kind of soup.
Let's talk TikTok now. So in the sports industry, everyone's like, we need to be on TikTok. TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. I go to Columbia University, and they're very good at keeping up with the trends. So when it comes to sports, they're always ahead of the curve, but there are still so many people that are like, we still don't understand it. So I figured what better way than to just talk to someone that has found success on the app. So your first viral video, what was going through your head? Like, did you always know you could go viral and that you had something inside you, or were you just like, whoa?
Okay, so I started on Instagram, right? Instagram is very unique, so you have to go get your followers. You know, you have to make a friend basis, you have to have connections.
Yeah.
TikTok, I really like the fact that TikTok has an opportunity for everybody. Everybody has a chance to gain fame, because you can wake up one day and your video got 1,000 views, or it could have 10 views. So that's really what I liked about TikTok. I just woke up one day on my birthday, actually. I posted a video and I said, hey, it's my birthday, look at me. And that's when my videos really took off, is when on my birthday. And it got over 1,000 views, and everybody was like, wow, this guy's good. So, and then I just kept going with it, because you got to be consistent with it. You got to give your fans what they want. So, and then I got into just following the trends and making the trends unique to my own way.
Yes.
That's what you got to do on TikTok. You have to be unique in your own way, because if you're just going to be like somebody else, then it's like, okay, you're copying that dude.
Yeah.
So I really strived for uniqueness. That's what I really liked the most about it.
Yeah. So can you just kind of talk about, like, you have content that is with the trends, and that's like, okay, this one can go really viral, but I also feel like you have a good way to connect with the people that already follow you. And I was actually just talking about that last week. I'm like, you need to have content that is trendy, but you need something that makes your audience that you already have want to keep engaging with you. So what do you do for that?
I mean, like I said, you got to follow the trends. You have to pay attention to the algorithms that TikTok has. Some people don't think that TikTok has algorithms, but I mean, it's really funny, because as soon as you follow somebody lifting at the Y, you're going to get all these videos of people lifting. So you just got to keep up with the trends, and you got to read your comments, for one. You got to see what people want. You just got to accommodate to your fans. I'm surprised you said read your comments, because you get so many comments. And of course, people on TikTok are either overly supportive or they're really mean. Yeah.
So how do you mentally, like mental health wise, read it enough where you know what your followers want, but also like filter out the bad ones? Right.
So when I was little, my dad told me, he always said, it's lonely at the top. Yeah. So you just gotta block out the haters. I mean, that's all it is. Who cares about what people think of you? You know you're having fun and you're doing successful things. I mean, it's just, you gotta block them out. It's all mental. It really is.
Is there something you do that helps you more than other things with blocking them out, or do you just completely disregard them?
I read them and I say, oh, that's not nice. But I mean, it's like, they're halfway across the world. What are they gonna do? They're behind a screen. So, yeah. I mean, I just completely block them out, because it doesn't matter. You know you're happy, so that's what matters.
I love that. I feel like there's a lot of people that need to hear that. And I think the same thing. Like, I'm happy with what I'm doing in life, so I don't feel the need to comment negative things on other people's posts. So right. I feel like if you're happy, yeah. you don't feel the need to give into that.
Right.
But, so that's online. Let's talk about school. So I'll first just share with everyone how I first found your page. So I'm a substitute teacher, and it's good money to make during grad school and everything else. But I kind of heard your name floating around a little bit, and then you came up on my For You page. I swear it was like the FBI agent in my phone that somehow pulled that off. So I was like creeping on your page. I'm like, you're good at this. So I followed you. And then literally the next day, you made a TikTok in the lunchroom of May South High School, and I was subbing one classroom over, and I commented like, me watching this while I'm subbing in the room next to you, and it was like the eyes and the lips,
yeah.
And I got like at least 20 people in 5 minutes like calling like, oh, that's Cap, like, no, he's not in a lunchroom, he's in a office building, like, people were attacking me, so I'm like, I'll duet this video then. So
yeah, I actually remember watching that video.
So I took my entire class and we duetted it and remade, like, and went to your exact spot. But so that's how I found you. But how do people treat you at school now?
So it's kind of funny. Before I even started at May South, everybody knew who I was.
Uh-oh.
So I walked in and they're like, oh, that must be that Laffy Taffy Sammy kid. And I'm like, yep, that's me. But a lot of people, they're kind of afraid to come up to me because they're like, oh, he's famous. He's got 625,000 followers. And I'm just like, hey, it's me. It's Sam. I'm always going to be Sam. You know, it's really a bonus to my name. You know, I just have followers on the side over here, you know.
Yeah. Do you think you get treated differently? Like, do you think, and I think like, so I've kind of grown up in the public light too with what I do, and Wichita is so small. So anyone that does something on like any sort of level, like people know you. And I feel like people either treat me nicer in a fake way sometimes, or they might be like a little bit mean. So do you see any of that?
I definitely get clout chasers. Like they'll come up to me and they're like, "Hey, you want to make a TikTok?" I'm like, "Yeah, maybe not," you know. But because I like to keep my page me. That's not a diss to anybody else. But I'm just like it's my page, it's me. But yeah, you get a lot of people coming up to you just asking about it, and I'm fine to answer questions about it for sure. But when they get in my face and like, "Hey, let's make a TikTok," I'm just like, "Okay, you need to back off here."
Do they want you to post it on your page?
Yeah. Yeah.
No way. I guess that's high school. I'm like pretty far removed from it now, but that is pretty high school to do.
Yeah.
It's starting to fade out now. Like everybody knows now that I'm Laffy Taffy Sammy, but since Mays is a combined school district, like so you have a whole school over here looking at you, and you have a whole school over here looking at you. So it's really cool to be kind of the center of attention, but also it's kind of rough when people come up to you all the time and be like, "Hey, can I be in your TikTok?"
You might have just seen a light bulb go off in my head. Speaking of that, I actually subbed for Sam the day before we recorded this, and you were the center of attention, and that was on your own free will. So he walks into class with flowers, and he's like, immediately, he's just like, "Do I put these in water now? Like, do I need to put?" And I'm like, "How long is it going to be out for?" And then he's like, "I'm so nervous. By the way, I need to go do a promposal." So it's not your typical promposal. I just watched it, but do you want to tell people what you did?
Okay, so I went to Dylan's right before I got to class, got a bouquet of roses. I came to school and I had it in my mind, locked and ready to go. I was gonna do a promposal in the middle of the lunchroom. Mays High. I don't go to Mays High, I go to Mays South. So this is a lunchroom full of people that doesn't even know who I am. So I go up to the administration, I get their permission, let them know what's going on, and I walk straight up onto that table and I just say, "Hey, attention! I'm sorry for interrupting, but there's a very beautiful girl here today and she doesn't yet have a prom date." So I look down at her and I say, "Bellamy Hendricks, will you go to prom with me?" And so she said yes, and then I cheered, she said yes, and the whole lunchroom just roared.
That's amazing. And I didn't know this when this was happening. So basically I was subbing in the building that connects to Mays High. It's the Career Academy. And I was like, "Why are you so nervous? Like, she's going to say yes." I figured he was just going to walk right up and, I don't know, maybe a poster. And I'm like, "Why is he nervous?" And then he comes back all happy. No idea this just happened. But I just thought that was funny to bring up. But how was the response on that? I haven't seen it on TikTok yet, but you said a lot of people are talking about it.
Yeah, so it was actually posted to like a lot of people's stories on Snapchat.
Oh, wow.
I walked into weights today and everybody was clapping for me. Like they were like, "Holy crap, Sam, that's amazing." And so yesterday I got a lot of texts saying, "Hey, you got some manpower to do that." And I was just like, "Yep, I mean, it's not that hard. You just get up on a table." But for some people, it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
But I just have no fear. I mean, because it's like, the least she can say is no.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean.
Yeah, my mom always tells me that too. It's just like, even like when I'm like shooting my shot with like a brand to work out to or whatever it may be, it's just like, the worst I can say is no.
Right.
But I love that philosophy. So let's talk now. When I first subbed for you, I texted you after when I asked you to be on my show. I'm like, you can just tell that you light up a room. So what is we kind of already touched on it, but like, what's your philosophy on just like life and being such a positive person? Even, I'm sure you have really bad days sometimes. So like, what's kind of your philosophy for that?
My philosophy in life is it's okay to be sad for sure. Like we all have those days, but I love to be positive because when I'm sad, I don't like myself. You know, it's just not me. So I walk into a room and I make sure to make somebody else happy. I'm always happy, so it's like I'm just gonna share it with somebody else. Yeah, when people see me, they know I'm happy. Like, and if I'm down on a day, they're like, "Hey, what's wrong?" Because they know I'm always happy.
Yeah.
That's just me. I just think there's no reason to be sad when life is this short. So.
Very true. So then is that what you just tell yourself on days you have bad days, or do you ever get in a slump at all?
I do get in slumps for sure. There's definitely like you fail a test and you get down on yourself, but I mean, there's always tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. You get up the next day and you're like, hey, it's a new day. Let's do this.
Yeah, well, I love that. But before we wrap up, you've just been such a pleasure to talk to, and when I tell you that I was so excited when you told me what you want to do when you graduate. I was going to say grow up, but we're like almost the same age. Like we're really close in age. But I got so excited because you do want to be in this kind of world. So like, what are your future goals?
My future goals is, when I was little, I always wanted to be like a voice actor or in the movie industry, be an actor. But as I'm getting older, I'm kind of seeing like that's a lot of work to get into that. I mean, not everybody has that talent, but I just wanted to be on TV and do news because as I took this broadcast class, I really enjoy it. I love meeting new people. I love interviewing them. It's just a blast. It really is. You get to meet new people. You get to learn about their lives because you're living your life the whole time. I want to learn about yours.
Yeah.
So.
That's so cool. So do you think that you're gonna continue doing TikTok with your other career endeavors?
I think I will. Right now I'm kind of on a slow pace. I'm kind of just riding the waves right now, trying to find the next trend. But I do think that my TikTok will get me, help with moving into the broadcast career. Hopefully, maybe I'll make it to like, KSN or something like that.
So do you want to stay in Wichita, or do you want to make it like to the Today Show or like something like huge? Like,
I think
what about that?
my goals right now is just to go to the next level. Because as Matthew McConaughey once said, he said, my hero is me in 5 years. And once you get to that 5 years, your hero is in another 5 years.
I love that. I've never heard that before, and I love Matthew McConaughey, so that is such great advice. But I honestly think, like, in the age of this, like, it's so cool that you do want to be on a news station, but the power of personal branding is so strong right now. I mean, like, I've gotten to do a lot with my own brand, so I feel like you can really do so much with that right now. So I'm really proud of you. That's so awesome.
My mom always says #keep going. It's actually on the back of her car, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool, I love that. Okay, so before we wrap up, I'm just gonna ask you a few rapid fire type questions about TikTok stuff maybe?
Okay.
I don't know. But what is like your favorite TikTok song to do?
Oh, that's a broad question because I mean there's so many. I did like the blinding lights trend where you'd walk in dun, 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 dun. I like that one. That was a really good time. Like I love the fact that you go back and you look at your TikTok sounds and it brings you back to a whole nother time you remember.
That's so true.
Yes.
Wow.
I do love that aspect of TikTok. That really it brings you back to the good old days.
Yeah, that's true. What about your favorite like effect or filter to use?
Let's see. There's a lot of filters I do like. Green screen is always good. You can do so much stuff with green screen. The face effects, love the face effects. They make your face wider. It's just there's so much to do on TikTok. It's so much fun.
Yeah. And then who's your favorite person to follow on TikTok?
Oh, creators, they pop up all the time on my For You page, and I find a new one every single day. Yeah. But it's really cool because I have a lot of these big names. They follow me back now that they see I'm getting bigger. Anna Banana, I don't know if you know who that is, but she moved into like a house with a bunch of girls or whatever. She followed me back at one point, and I thought that was really cool. I did like Anna Banana. She's really cool.
Is that probably like your favorite famous person that follows you, or?
Do you know Sean Does Magic?
Yes.
Yes, he followed me back, and I think that's my favorite. He's really good at what he does.
Yeah, my favorite that follow me is LaffyTaffySammy's and Overtime Megan. She follows me back, and she's the queen. So, okay, let's see. Do you ever think you're gonna go to LA and make like TikTok videos?
At one point, we had that idea in mind. I joined this group, and we called ourselves the Golden Retrievers. Yes. We did have a talk because one of the retrievers, they had a connection with like a daytime show, and they wanted to have us all on, but we kind of broke up because of an online thing that happened. Yeah. But that was an option at one point. We had a really good time with that.
Yeah. So do you think it's ever going to be in your future too?
Yeah. I mean, you never know. You really never know. God has a plan for all of us. So.
Very true. And then last question, if you weren't making the type of videos you're making, what do you think your other claim to TikTok fame would be? Cooking or what do you think it would be?
I think it would be like, okay, so you see those videos about, they have those newscaster things and you read it all. I think if I get into that career as a broadcast person, I would direct my content towards me being in the broadcast industry.
Now to the latest COVID-19 stories. Governor Gavin Newsom says the California Department of Public Health has administered 7.3 million vaccines. During his visit to a vaccine clinic in Los Angeles County today, Newsom says the state is committed to getting more people of color vaccinated. According to data from the state health department, just 3% of black people and 16% of Latino people in California have been given at least one dose of the vaccine.
I think that's a great possibility for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. It was a blast talking to you. I mean, we've talked a little bit online and when I sub, but you are just such an incredible person. So I'm glad you came on. Do you want to tell the audience where to follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram, Sam Saved Ferris. You can follow me on TikTok, LaffyTaffySammy. Those are my handles. Go follow me. I'm a great person. I'm kind, I'm gentle, it's me, it's Sam White, we're all good there.
So how'd you come up with the TikTok name, by the way?
It actually was originally Sam of Shades, and I didn't really like that because I had a lot of glasses at the time, so I was like Sam of Shades. But a lot of people were like, "Do you have many shades of your personality?" So I was just like, yeah. But then my mom, she got me a tub of blue Laffy Taffies, and I was just like, Laffy Taffy Sammy, there you go.
So smart, that's so original.
Yeah.
Well, I love that. So thanks again for coming on, and thank you all for watching. You can follow me. I've actually changed my @name since last time we recorded my talk show. So Twitter @AliyahFun, and then TikTok and Instagram @AliyahFunschelle. I'll see you in the next video.